Okay, we have seen foundry workflows with orchestration patterns. We have also seen that how we can develop one simple and single agent using Microsoft Agent Framework. Now it's the time we have to combine both of them in this particular module. We'll focus on orchestrating a multi-agent solution using Microsoft Agent Framework. And when we are dealing with this thing, we have to actually focus on multiple orchestration patterns which are available in this. What are the patterns? Well, first thing which I want to introduce here is we have something which is known as concurrent pattern or basically parallel pattern. This pattern is going to allow you to run tasks in parallel. So unlike sequential, where everything is going one after another, this is the one which is allowing you to run independent agents and execute them simultaneously. As you can see in this diagram, you provide an input, then multiple agents are going to work on that. It's basically like you try to find out a solution of a same problem by three different ways parallelly. Then in this kind of scenario, you do not have any dependencies, and that's where concurrent orchestration is perfectly matched. Is going to give you results which are merged at completion, and this is optimized for speed, which means if speed is your priority, you can go for concurrent orchestration. But remember, you need higher quota. You know that every time when we want to run agent, we need a model associated with that, and model works based on TPM, tokens per minute. If you want to run three different agents on that particular model deployment, you need a higher quota, which is basically going to increase cost. So concurrent orchestration is perfect if you're looking for a speed, but not good if you're focusing on saving cost. The next one is sequential orchestration, which we have already discussed earlier. It's a step-by-step execution. Each step is going to depend on the previous one. The order is fixed, it's predictable, order flow, easy to reason about, and this is basically what it's going to do. Now, this is perfect when you are trying to do some kind of a step-by-step process, which is trying to enhance the content. For example, maybe you want to improvise the content like summarization and classification or some other kind of a sequential process is there, then you can go for the sequential orchestration. It's going to be having a fixed order associated with that. The third one, but little complex orchestration pattern is a group chat orchestration. Now, this is a pattern is very similar to your group chat workflow as well, because in this case, you're going to have a centralized orchestrator, which is basically an agent, but we call it group chat manager. This group chat manager is responsible for doing all the communication execution. You are going to provide an input as a user. Group chat manager is the one which is going to communicate with all the other agents, which are basically focusing on a specific task. And then optionally, there are chances that group chat manager is also going to associate with a human. This is a perfect scenario for human in the loop kind of a thing. Agents can share a common conversation, control shift dynamically, and it is best for brainstorming and synthesis kind of a thing. When you're dealing with this, group chat manager is a single thread execution. So remember, this is the agent which is going to take the input, which is going to do the step-by-step execution, and then it's just the one which is going to give you the result. This centralized orchestrator agent is the one which is going to take care of all this thing. That's why group chat manager is something which is going to be a time-consuming execution, as well as if you want to control this particular mechanism, then it is possible that you control this by controlling number of agents. If you have minimum 3 to 4 agents, then this is perfectly fine. Do not go beyond 4 agents when you're dealing with group chat manager kind of implementation, because there are chances it will not understand when to end this conversation, and the chatting is going to be go on and on and on. If you want to avoid infinite loop kind of thing, then make sure you restrict this with the clear signals, and you're going to restrict it with less number of agents, maximum 3 to 4, not more than that. The next orchestration pattern is handoff orchestration. We are not going to implement this pattern practically, but I have some of the lab exercise on this. If you are interested in that, you can just reach out to me through our website WhatsApp link, and then you will be getting the sample application of this. But obviously, handoff orchestration is little complex to implement and understand. What is this? Handoff orchestration is actually focusing on dynamic delegation. You will be having some input which is going to be taken care by one agent. We do not have any kind of a centralized orchestrator here. Unlike group chat orchestration, here we do not have any centralized orchestrator. Each agent is going to be having a specialized expertise. So one agent is going to transfer the control to another one, the one which may be going to handle that task in a much better way. Like for example, you can see here is going to have a clear ownership per stage. Like this is an agent which is focusing on journal support. Let's say I'm taking a scenario of a customer support kind of a thing. User is asking for a support. And general support agent is basically trying to answer that thing. If that is capable enough to answer that thing, it's going to give you the response. But if not, this can hand off that to a better agent which can handle that thing. Maybe the customer issue is related to billing, then it's going to transfer that to the billing agent. Or maybe customer issue is related to technical thing, then it's going to transfer that to the technical agent. And these agents are respectively going to try to troubleshoot and solve the problem of the user. If none of them are able to solve this thing, they can hand off that to a human being by maybe informing my customer that why don't you call to this number and connect to the human. Now, in this case, handoff orchestration can have multiple agents which can hand off the work to any other agent which can have a specialized uh, role as well as the specialized capabilities to perform the task. This is ideal for role-based workflows, and that's why this is little complex. Also, in order to avoid infinite looping kind of a thing, you have to make sure that you hand off with the clear signals. Otherwise, there are chances that this is going to hand off and this will go into an infinite loop of the handoff possible. If you understood the first four orchestration, the fifth one is the most complex one, which is known as agentic orchestration. Now, this orchestration is inspired by Autogen and Semantic Kernel's Magentic 1 process. Now, this is something which was part of that, so I do not want to go into that. But this is one of the most complex orchestration pattern where you are going to focus on adaptive and emergent collaboration. In this case, there is no fixed execution order. And that's the reason when multiple agents are going to be involved in magentic orchestration, this is going to have something which is called magentic orchestrator. Like you have a group chat orchestrator, same way you are going to have a magentic orchestrator, which is basically going to be taking care of task ledger. So what kind of a subtask and complex task you're going to execute, in which order you're going to execute that thing, as well as it's going to keep track of the progress ledger, like what tasks are done and what tasks are still needs to be done after this. All this progress and the task ledger is going to be maintained in a proper documented way. So this agent is going to have a self-organized configuration, is suitable for more complex tasks, open-ended problems, and at the end of this is basically going to give you a proper documentation of this ledger for the human review. So if you want that your multiple agents are executing, but at the end of this humans are going to review that task, then Magentic orchestration is a perfect example of that. Now, do not get very confused with Magentic orchestration. If you have ever used GitHub Copilot, then whenever you ask GitHub Copilot to create some application from scratch or maybe some game from scratch, it's basically going to give you a details of steps task inside that. That you know what, these are the 5, 6, 7 tasks which I'm going to execute in a specific order. Do you allow me to do this thing? If you say allow, it's going to start doing this thing. At process of this thing is also going to tell you that these 3 tasks are done and the fourth one is what you're going to do next. This whole thing is basically nothing but Magentic orchestration. Now, example of Magentic orchestration code sample is also available with me. If anyone is really working on this, I will love to hear from you. Just comment down on this particular video on my YouTube channel, or you can just reach out to me on our website, which is skilltech.club, and I will be more than happy to connect with you. Now, after all these orchestration patterns, let's focus on the lab in which we are going to develop multi-agent orchestration. In this, we are going to use sequential orchestration only, but we will be developing multiple agents through code. And then we will see that how these multiple agents are going to coordinate with each other using Microsoft Agent Framework. Yes, this lab is very interesting and important, so I want you to go through that. But before that, let's do the knowledge check of this module. First question is, what's the first step in Microsoft Agent Framework's unified orchestration workflow? The right answer is define your agents and describe their capabilities so that you can define the flow. For brainstorming and collaborative problem solving among multiple agents, which orchestration pattern is most suitable? The right answer is group chat is suitable for brainstorming because multiple agents will be involving in that discussion, and then based on that it's going to come to the conclusion. Straightforward and simple questions are there, so that is perfectly fine. With this is the end of this particular day 2. This is day 2, which is focusing on agentic development. You understood this, I hope. And the labs which are there in day 2 are little more complex. So whatever labs you have done today, I request you to please give it one more time, one more shot, because these labs are having very important code with that. You have used Microsoft Agent Framework, Agent Foundry Service, you have used MCP servers, you have used the Microsoft Teams integration and all those things. So there are a lot many labs we have done today. Make sure you're able to understand that and you're able to perform those labs as well. With this is Maruti signing out. I'll see you tomorrow with day 3 and the more modules coming in AI 103. Thank you.